Still somehow I believe we'd always survive.
You name Toby. That's who you is, yeah? Toby. Kunta Kinte. African name. Massa gives you a new name. Massa say, Massa gives you a new name. Massa say, Massa gives you a new name. Massa say, you name Toby. Hey, what's the matter with you? Cut me loose. Kunta Kinte.
Shalom Israel, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to like out there, doing this work of faith, and living for love, true sincerity. If you can see that quick clip, which I played from the movie Roots, you see Fiddler, talking into Kunta Kinte, and he kept using the word Massa. Now I want to get into this quick piece of edification, from this website called angelfire.com, and it basically gets into like the Hebrewisms of West Africa. All right, this article on which I'm on angelfire.com. So I just want to read this quick part that's pretty much self-explanatory. All right, it says, if you pick up and read any book on slavery in the United States, you will see that the slaves were called the slave owner Massa, not master, but Massa. We have been taught that the slaves were speaking broken English, so they would pronounce Massa instead of master because of their dialect. That's not the whole truth. Massa is a Hebrew word that means burden, oppressor. Strong's Concordance 4853, 4854. Those slave masters put heavy burdens on the slaves, so the slaves called them Massa for that reason. Now, many people, when they see this statement, as this quick piece of edification just said, that people would say that, oh, it's just about the dialect. But when you really think about it, those first generation of Israelite slaves that were brought over here to America, they knew who they were. Okay, it wasn't later on to, like the second and the third and the fourth generations, when the knowledge of us being Israelites started to wash away and we started to forget who we truly were. But those first generation and possibly like the second up to the third, maybe generation of Israelites, knew who they were. And you had to believe, just as Kunta Kinte, when you watch Roots, he was passing on certain things on to his daughter Kizzy. So you had to best believe that a lot of Israelites were doing that. Okay. So when they actually said Massa, they knew that they were speaking Hebrew and not trying to say master, but it's just, the spirit of the Most High that those things, that the word Massa and master, pretty much sound similar to where the actual slave owner actually thought that they were trying to say master, but couldn't pronounce it the correct way because of the accent. All right. So real quick, this is, remember it said Massa means burden / oppressor. Okay, so when you go to Deuteronomy 1:12, it says, how can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? Okay, so when you look up the word burden, and the word burden and oppressor are synonymous when you look it up, which we will in just a second. All right, so it says Massa. Okay, load, bearing, tribute, burden, lifting, bury, carrying, tribute, that which is carried or brought home, utterance, oracle, burden. But when you go down, okay, to the Strong's definition, it says a burden, specifically tribute or abstractly porterage, figuratively an utterance, chiefly a doom. Okay, hardcore bondage was a doom for us. Israelites being brought over from their homes in the west coast of Africa and being brought over to this country. That was a doom, is a nightmare, man. So that was chiefly a nightmare, especially singing. Okay, when they brought us over here on those slave ships, they was forcing us to sing songs while we were over here already in America, because you got the movie Uncle Tom's Cabin, which shows edification of the slave owner making us sing those songs, and that goes in accordance with the scripture here, Psalms 137. And I get straight to the point. It says Psalms 137:3. For they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? And when you watch the movie, as I said, Uncle Tom's Cabin, you clearly see an illustration of that.
You, sit over there where you belong. Man gave you money for clothes for us. What'd you do? Drink it? Mr. LeGree got all kind of clothes on the plantation. Off of all the slaves that died. Get out. What is it, a funeral? What do you think they're all saying about you up there? If you behave yourselves, you'll be treated well, and if not, look out. You understand each other? Well, answer. Yes, sir. All right. Now, let's hear you sing a song. Sing whatever you want to. Sing one of those spirituals. All right? Why don't you sing? Sing, I said. Oh, Mississippi, many you have seen. Oh, Mississippi, good friends we have been. Oh, you know my yearning, burning in my heart, and you know my sadness when we part.
And those Israelites, they were looking sorrowful, at the masters requesting out of them. So that was a burden unto them. The slave owners were oppressing them by trying to make them sing songs in a strange land, like they're supposed to be happy about doing so. Okay. So going back to it, it says what? Especially singing mental desire, mental and desire. So on our mind, they were a burden unto us, man, weighing us down with those heavy burdens, just as in old Egypt. They were, and it says what? Desire. They were a burdens unto our desires, man, to the things that we long for, as us still being Israelites over there in the west coast of Africa, still keeping our law, statutes, and commandments. You still had, even though the name was taken away from us, but you still had Israelites over there that knew, that they were awaiting a coming Messiah, man, because when you go into the history of the Ashantis, they have stories that clearly relate unto YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI, man, when you look into that Ashanti tribe history, okay? So it says what? Burden carry away prophecy, okay? Esau being over us, being a burden and oppressor over us, this is according what? To prophecy, man, okay? This is all according to prophecy. They set song tribute, all right? So when you look up pretty much, the two words here, read this again, Deuteronomy 1:12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? And the word cumbrance, is the word encumbrance. Okay, it says what? A burden or impediment. So, these words are synonymous, a burden and oppressor. Okay, hindrance, obstruction, obstacle, impediment, constraint, handicap, inconvenience, nuisance, disadvantage, drawback. All right, burden. Okay, and when you look up the word burden, a load, especially a heavy one, okay, load, heavy, it says cause someone hardship or distress. Okay, so that's exactly what they were doing unto us, man, because this is modern day Egypt, modern day Babylon, okay, the daughter of Babylon. All right, and when you look up the word oppress, okay, says oppress, keep someone in subservience and hardship, especially by the unjust exercise of authority. Okay, so this all goes into the word burden, basically. Okay, cause someone to feel distressed, anxious, or uncomfortable. Okay, we're not supposed to feel comfortable over here in the land of our captivity, because here we have no continuing city. And when you look it up here, oppress, what? To burden with cruel or unjust impositions or constraints subject to a burdensome or harsh exercise of authority or power. And that clearly also explains it with the slavery in which Esau has put us under, and which we are still under today. Okay, so this just goes to show and to prove the point that those first generation, possibly down to the second and third generation of slaves, Israelite slaves, when they came over here on those cargo slave ships, when they said the word Massa, they actually were speaking Hebrew because they knew the word Massa meant burden or oppressor, man. And the words burden and oppress are synonymous with one another. You know, so I just want to bring out this quick piece of edification, you know, on this episode of the Spirit Bear Witness. So, you know, I just hope this was edifying. You know, and I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bashim YAHAWASHI, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to look out there, doing his work of faith, and live with love, truth, sincerity. Shalawam, death to America.